All right. We are live, guys, and I'm going to give you a nice recap since it has been like a couple weeks since we played. All right. You finally arrive at Revel's End after an eventful 3 days aboard the Jolly Pelican. You've decided to venture forth without disguises or fake names, opting for honesty when possible. Initially, the guards and cooks are split up, and Matilde, Bellatos, and Zatari are shown their quarters. They meet Yula the orc, who is head of the guards. She begins to explain the rules, including no magic and no talking to the prisoners. Bellatos protests and says that he likes the prisoners and wants to talk to them, and is immediately slapped so hard that he's pushed at least 2 feet back. As Zatari calls top bunk, Vakas follows Samara and Krieg to the kitchen where he meets tiny Toulaine, an absolutely massive ogre who can make a mean stroganoff sauce. Vakas learns that the warden's name is Marta, and she can be accommodating to newcomers. You find the warden's office with little effort and knock on the ornate door. An older woman in fine red robes and a bronze wheelchair opens the door. She is poised and unflappable, but is surprised when Vakas recognizes her name and reputation as a famous adventurer. Her quarters are jam-packed with books and scrolls, and Bellatos spots an interesting-looking chest tucked away behind her desk. You also note that she wears a keyring with 7 keys. She graciously begins to give you a tour of the prison, and it is clear that she has been the warden for some time, and is very knowledgeable about the prison and its inhabitants. Matilde asks if every prisoner has a cellmate, and Marta tells you no, some are too dangerous and must remain alone. She brings you to the area in the Panopticon where the guards are able to watch over the prisoners utilizing magic bowls of water to show each cell. Vakas curiously peers into a few, but his heart stops cold when he sees the mad mage who created him, the man who he has been trying to hunt down. But something is different about him. His once dark eyes are now impossibly light, and just as Vakas attempts to pull his gaze away, the mage's eyes snap up to look directly at Vakas. Osan scurries up to Bellatos and pulls him towards Vakas, who has found Prisoner 13's cell, while Zatari and Matilde listen to the warden boast about the Panopticon's accomplishments. You notice that Prisoner 13 is covered in tattoos, including the clan Axebreaker symbol and a very bizarre arm tattoo that seems very different than her other pieces. Marta finishes the tour hastily after the Panopticon and wishes you all well. As you sit down for dinner, Yula comes over and states that the warden wishes to see Matilde. Yula escorts Matilde by herself back to the office, where Matilde is greeted by a very different warden. While physically, it is still Marta. She now wears glasses, speaks only in Dwarvish, in a brusque fashion, and her poised demeanor has completely changed. She rifles around her scrolls and hands Matilde a scroll that shows a transactional record of a young Genasi woman. Marta remarks that they don't get many Genasi through here, but the information is good and makes it clear to not mention this little gift. Matilde returns to the table confused. So you guys are still at dinner, and Matilde immediately tells you guys that the warden was weird, and
Yep. Said that she was weird. I didn't say anything.
You said that she was different. You said that she was different. She was acting different.
Yes.
How was she different?
Well,
You are not in trouble?
no. I'm not in trouble. I mean, I don't think it's normal for her to wear glasses just based on what we went through with her.
Correct. You saw her looking at papers, and she went through the whole tour.
She only spoke Dwarvish.
Mm-hmm.
She spoke Dwarvish?
Yeah, the whole time.
You speak Dwarvish?
I do.
Did she have an accent in Dwarvish?
I don't think I verified that.
And she didn't have any well, I guess she doesn't have any tattoos anyway. Interesting.
Yes.
I'm just trying to figure out if she was speaking Dwarvish. If she had an accent, we could think about maybe what clan she might be from. But you can just speak Dwarvish, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Was she
I
a
speak
human?
Dwarvish. I do
thought
not
she
have a good
was-
Dwarvish accent, but
If only there was a dwarf.
Wasn't she human though?
She is human, and she didn't appear to like physically any different besides the fact that she was wearing glasses. And I wouldn't say that she had an accent, but her tone was completely different. When you guys met her before, she was very proper and bespoke. Where when she was speaking Dwarvish, she's very brusque and familiar.
Vakas, you know about this lady, right? Vakas?
Vakas, you are muted.
Oh, she might have run to go grab the tomato tarts from the oven.
Sorry.
That's fine. That's fine.
No, I was nothing. What I missed. I'm so sorry.
Vakas,
Okay.
you know about this lady?
Yes, she was a adventurer, but
Her
we're
group?
still. Yeah, Marta was an adventurer and very, very well known, part of a group, but she kind of disappeared. Without a trace. No one knew like what happened to her afterwards. So I'm guessing something happened to create this cool personality.
Did her group have a dwarf in it?
Ooh, good question.
Great question.
Is there a way to check with history?
Yeah, why don't Bellatos and Vakas make history checks for me?
That's a 20, right?
Yes.
Ooh.
Such a loud
Uh,
dice.
I know.
Sorry.
I was gonna say that.
I
think it's kind of fun, to be
no, own
honest.
it. Own
Own that chunky dice.
Speaking of, with my electronic rolls from Wednesday, we're gonna switch to real dice.
I got a 19.
Okay.
Yeah, 16 plus 3. Yeah.
And Bellatos?
Oh, what was I supposed to roll?
History.
History.
Oh, fuck. 17.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woo!
17.
17.
You guys, as Zatari asked you guys this, it kind of jogs your memory of, yeah, there was a dwarf in that adventuring party.
Ooh. Oh, that's all we get. Okay.
But
There
we know that
was-
that adventuring party broke up,
What
right?
flavor of dwarf?
What type of dwarf?
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, like
Does my
like the
Can like help with that?
yeah. Let me real quick.
Do I have like business with this dwarf?
This is like basically this is like an old famous adventuring party. They've been out of like just based off of like Marta alone. They probably were adventurers like a couple decades ago. But you know, dwarves live a long time. This would have been a mountain dwarf.
Oh.
Guess who's also a mountain dwarf?
Oh, okay.
Wait, you're a mountain dwarf?
Yeah.
Oh. So we know the name of the group, right? Like of the dwarf?
Yes, give me
Teeny, what the
one
fuck?
second to kind of
What
look
do you
into
mean
this really quick.
I know,
Why
I
would-
hate that when the players ask a really good question, you're like, dang it, I don't have that information right off the top.
Yeah, I'm like, one sec, one sec.
Frantic.
Un momento,
Where's Control
por
F when you
favor.
need it? Dang it, it's a book.
I know.
That's the downside to like a physical copy is you're like, oh wait, I can't just Control F this. I actually have to search for it.
I always
Not
end up
play Space
Yeah.
Pirates.
with rabbit hole though, like where I have it up in like my drive or whatever, and like I end up like 3 pages off, and then I get frustrated and open the physical book anyway.
So,
That's legit.
as you guys are kind of like surmising about this dwarf, Bellatos, you as a mountain dwarf are kind of like, okay, I remember, okay, it's coming back to me. This adventuring party was kind of unique, as in like they typically adventuring parties would lean very heavy on like one race quite often. So it'd be like a band of tieflings, and like they would kind of stay in their one area, while this one they were sort of known around Faerun because they had adventurers from all over, which is why they were so well known. In particular, the dwarven male who traveled with them was a renowned fighter called Vlax Brawn Anvil, who, of course, happened to be part of Clan Axebreaker.
Ooh. Dun, dun, dun.
This is before Clan Axebreaker had, a lot of their finances stolen by, obviously, Prisoner 13.
Yeah, but that's
And-
the connection.
And he was sort of one of the first to sort of go outside of the clan and partner with other races, other regions, and make a name for himself. Unfortunately, he passed very tragically in a battle, or that's what you heard.
I got distracted by Kelly's curtains of amazingness. Sorry.
Cats,
It just needed to be said. All the cats. It needed to be said. Had
No,
to be said.
T is like keeps walking on me and like rubbing on my iPad, so I'm like, yeah, and I'll show everyone.
Love it.
What's the warden's name again?
Marta.
Marta Marthanis. And she's
a wizard.
I think the
she's
point
a human
that we're
wizard.
talking softly at the table at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's a everyone
I figured
everyone
the chatter
eats dinner
around-
basically almost at the same
Yeah.
time. Like, go ahead and give me a perception check really quick though.
I would love you. Rolling a dice. Rolling a dice. Perception.
And you said she's in a wheelchair?
Mm-hmm.
4!
Okay.
I'm
My
You
like,
first
are-
roll of the night was a 2.
You're embroiled in this discussion about
Yes!
about the dwarf and trying to like
You know, I'm just not very familiar with... I haven't met a lot of dwarves. Like, dwarven culture. I just fascinated. If this is how I'm going to be rolling all night tonight, I'm going to be really sad. I just need to clarify this.
It's okay. You'll be okay.
I know. I know.
So, guys, I think that's our connection is we have sorry, I'm forgetting what the dwarf's name is.
I put it in the side chat for you guys.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Or
Vlax.
Vlax Brona.
Vlax.
And
So Vlax is probably the connection to the outside world for Prisoner 13.
Could be.
If
I
that-
Okay, I'm not familiar with magic. Is there a way to turn yourself into someone that you're very familiar with?
You
Yeah,
can, on the outside, you have seen me do it, but not really on the inside, though.
And Marta didn't seem any taller or shorter than normal, right?
No.
Cool.
Okay, I have theory.
Hmm.
I'm thinking maybe Marta and her group maybe get into mysterious accident. Her group disappear, but she is okay. She is acting like this dwarf that was a part of her group, so what if somehow all of her group's personalities go inside her mind?
Oh.
So she has her party members in her head, maybe?
All of them? That would destroy her mind.
Well, not necessarily. I have met some people on the road who have different personalities, but they are all still the same person. But might be different with what happened to her. She seems okay though, so maybe she does not know.
Hmm.
What
Hmm.
if other companions are taking over her body?
Well, that would be
Every
kind
now
of
and then.
disturbing. I'm
We
just
know if-
pointing it out.
So
We
far
know-
we know the dwarf. Who? Vakas, you know the other groups members?
I'm wondering if if he is the only one who died. I thought he died and Marta disappeared and the rest of the group disbanded. But
I thought no one heard from the group again.
yes, because they
All of the
disbanded.
I
No?
thought all of the other members were missing though.
So per your guys'
Or
last
presumed
check
dead.
on this, it was that the group disbanded under bizarre circumstances. So it wasn't that they all died or anything. It was sort of like they came back from an adventure and the group sort of like had split off and they sort of went their separate ways. It's very possible that now some are deceased because they kept adventuring, etc. But they were famous as a group, and then they split up for whatever reason.
Because of this experience where the dwarf died.
Yeah, after that mission.
So
Okay.
could be maybe it's just him inside her mind then?
Yes, I think so. Back dwarf name. I'm so sorry. I'm getting lost in the names. Our group dwarf name. Kelly, what's your dwarf person?
Bellatos.
Kelly, what's your name?
I am so sorry. It's George
Us.
Bellatos.
George.
Is it
Like,
is it known, like, is it possible for dwarves when they die to, like, is that something that they do sometimes? Is if they, have another close member of, either another race or another dwarf, do they, inhabit the same vibe? Like, does that happen?
Oh, I don't fucking know. I got cast off and sent to the fucking monastery.
Okay.
Monks.
Would
God love them.
would I know? Like, since I use a little bit of magic, would
Mhm.
I know what type of wizard she is?
Ooh. Make
Make a
make an Arcana check.
But in all seriousness, though, Dee, like, if I can, like, make a check to, like, know that information, I'm more than willing to. I just
Oh yeah,
don't
for
know
sure.
it.
What would you like to recall or think about in particular?
I guess I'm gonna think about, I don't know, my grandparents and kind of what happened with them. Would that work?
Yeah, are you trying to kind of remember like if this is like a dwarven specific thing or anything that you've heard of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, make a history check with advantage since you're thinking about like your own lineage, which is something that you would still know about even if you were a monk. And then Zatari, please make me an Arcana check.
17.
Okay.
Come on, you can do it.
You can do it.
I rolled a 20.
Yes.
All
Nat
right,
20?
so the universe has been balanced.
I rolled a nat 20.
Next.
Okay, so with the nat
Well, I rolled
20,
but yeah,
but it is a 20. Okay. So you would know that this is not a dwarven specific thing. You've never heard of anyone like allowing themselves to be like, you know, inhabited by someone else's spirit or anything like that. What you do know is that dwarves take their bonds and their word very seriously. And if someone was bound by an oath of protection or something along that nature, that they would do everything in their power to keep that keep their word. You would imagine that if Vlax is the only one who fell during this battle, that he sacrificed himself, or to save the others, or had some sort of bond with one of them to throw himself down.
Epic.
As for
Forgetting serious.
the what school of magic Miss Marta is, she is an
probably
enchantment.
abjuration.
Yeah, she's an enchantment wizard. So so she is able to like enchant the bowls of water to like, see things. She has enchanted the shit out of this prison to be protected and also react to different things.
So we need to figure out two things. First off, how can I kill the Mad Mage before we get out of here? And second of all, how do we get to Prisoner 13 to give us the key?
Well, for the Mad Mage, did Vakas tell us what happened?
Didn't tell Matilda. This is all new to Matilda.
Yeah, I don't think
Did
Vakas
Vakas tell?
I don't think Vakas told anyone.
Matilda is Zatari's friend. Did Zatari mention it to her at all?
No, I mean, I'm talking about, did Vakas mention to anyone else that he saw the wizard look at him?
I
through
thought
the...
when we were all coming back,
I thought you were with Bellatos for that, and not with.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I was up with Matilda.
Yeah.
You called
And I don't
Bellatos
think
over to look at
Bellatos
Prisoner
looked at it.
13
Yeah.
after
Gotcha.
seeing the Mad Mage. So you haven't really, like, Zatari knows that you're kind of hunting your creator, but I don't think you've divulged too much beyond that or that you've seen him. Although I do remember Zatari being like, it seems like you look like you've seen a ghost.
Yeah, that's why I thought we had discussed already.
You didn't actually tell Zatari anything, though.
Well, guys, something
Why?
happened.
I don't understand.
Something happened in the looking glass. When I was looking into all of the cells to see Prisoner 13, Bellatos can say that this happened as well, but I saw Mad Mage, who...
You find him?
Yes. He looked at me through the looking glass, and he was different. His eyes were different.
What
And
you
I
are
don't know...
meaning he look at you?
He has brown eyes normally, but when we were looking through the looking glass, he turned and stared through the looking glass, it seemed, with blue eyes.
Ooh.
Was he using magic?
I don't know, right? But do you know if he was? Is there a way to tell?
Would I know about other spells like divination? Especially because of my background?
Yeah. You understand that there are all kinds of different schools of magic, and however, you also know that the cells are locked down and are anti-magical. So it would be really what the warden and such have said is that they can't cast spells. However, if something was like innate, as in like possibly an ability that they had that they could sense someone watching them or something like that, which it's very probable that the prisoners sort of understand that they're being watched, but it was very weird that he knew exactly when to look up.
Would I know from the description that Vakas is giving, would that sound like it could have been like a scrying spell or like a true sight spell or something?
It's
he was
very possible. What really rings in your head is how powerful you would have to be to overcome Marta's magic and her enchantments along the place. And if he can sense things like that, that's very scary.
Oh, that's how we... Guys, I have a plan. So,
what is plan?
You know, the Mad Mage is... I want to kill him. He is my maker, and he, is my worst enemy.
He is bad guy.
But what if one of us goes and makes friends, like pretends to be his friend, get on his good side? If he is more powerful than the enchantments, he could help us get to prisoner 13, and then we get what we need from prisoner 13, and we double cross him and kill him. What are your thoughts?
Well, Vakas, the magic he has is very powerful. So, if we were to team up with him and break him out, we maybe could not handle taking him on together.
Not
Depends.
unless we tell Marta that is our plan. So we get her on our side, because she is very powerful.
I don't think Marta would let us kill him, though.
Why not?
Her job is to not kill them, but to keep prisoner.
But she does not know what he did.
No, but I don't think... She seems very lawful. So,
Is the dwarf
maybe we
part of
could...
her as lawful?
I don't know.
The dwarf could be persuaded, potentially.
But the
Bellatos,
dwarf
what do
does
you
not
think?
have the magic that the wizard does.
Well,
With how long that we've kind of been discussing this, by the way, have people started leaving the mess hall?
Yeah, I
Shall I
mean, it's
try
been
another
like,
perception check?
yeah, you can perception check once more. Kind of just like come up from your huddle. It's probably been like 45 minutes of dinner.
be right back.
I'm gonna use my panda. Okay, panda. Don't let me down.
Panda, 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 panda.
We've all just got our heads together and we're just
14?
furiously whispering at each other.
You
I
like,
think that is like the best roll I've rolled in the 2 days that I played D&D this week.
you look around and you don't know too many people, but the ones that you do, you pick out of the crowd, and you notice that Samara's missing. You see Tiny, who you haven't met, but Vakas told you about, who you assume is Tiny, a huge ogre. And you see, like, a lot of the cooks are sort of, like, over in one area. And you notice that Samara is not around.
Vakas, are you done cooking? Or is the cooks done for today?
Vakas is off getting another piece of tomato tart.
Never mind. I'll ask. I kind of lean into the group and I'm like, did anyone see where Samara went?
Can anyone else make a perception check, or?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Perception.
Maybe you'll roll better then.
Ooh, it's pretty good. It's gonna be 19 plus 4.
Oh, okay.
What are those rolls like exactly?
It's like this.
What? That obviously does not exist anywhere on my D20.
You sure you're not just rolling the D12 there?
I'm now curious.
Yeah, you've just had a D10 this whole
somehow
time.
touched my dice.
Yes.
And jinxed my dice.
Someone jinxed your dice.
You need
I
blame Will
to
Wheaton.
fade them in the moonlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should put them in the blue moon. You you notice sorry, Zatari, you do remember that Samara was like, at some point she was sitting there. Like, you remember her. Like, she's kind of one of the people who you guys have had the most FaceTime with. And so, like, you know, it's kind of like, oh, there's my friend over there. And you also notice Yula coming back into the mess hall once more.
But I didn't see Samara leave.
You don't remember Samara leaving, you just remember that you saw her before, so you I know she was here. And then you guys, of course, saw Yula when she brought up Matilde. And you're like, oh, I
Yula's
thought
the
she
big
sat
scary
down.
one, right?
Yeah, that's the one that slapped
Okay.
the shit out of Bellatos. Who Samara told you to, that wasn't nice and that you should avoid. But you see her come back in and, take her seat again.
Yula!
She snaps her eyes over to you and just she's got her big tusks.
Yula, have you seen Samara?
She looks you up and down and she goes, maybe.
I was wanting to talk to her. Do you maybe know which way she has gone?
She's busy.
Busy? Is she working? I thought we ended the work day.
She's not working, but she's busy.
Can I make an insight check to
Yeah,
see
you
if
go
she's
for it.
evading? Yes! Okay, panda dice. Where's my panda dice? Okay, panda
Good
dice.
vibes.
Good
So
vibes,
she's
come
good
on.
luck.
This now gives me anxiety. This is not
Good
supposed to
luck.
happen. Okay,
You're fine. You're overthinking it.
I found a 19! That's 23.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Eula's being coy. She's not a deceptive person due to her large personality.
Did I see any eyes shifts? You know, how sometimes people unintentionally have a little tick and they look in the direction that they were.
Yeah,
that
she
they last saw
she
them or
looks at
something?
you. Then she looks back at Zatari.
Oh, she is with the Warden. Okay. I will wait for her then.
Curious.
Well, they're basically girlfriends.
Did I guess right? Does she look like I hit it on the nose, or?
She just goes back to her tomato tart, her beef stroganoff. It's a large bowl, and she just seems annoyed that you were asking her questions, but you're fairly certain that you're onto something. She's not a good liar.
Maybe. I wonder if she knows about the dwarf in the Warden. Maybe we could ask her?
I want to go eavesdrop.
Oh, we could try.
No, have Osan do it.
Oh, yes, Osan!
As you...
Is Osan back from looking around the prison?
Yeah, as you guys sort of are like, oh, Osan. Vakas, you feel a familiar hairy 8 legs crawling up your pant leg, and right on cue, your sweet familiar is back, and she sort of crawls up your collar, and it's like, hi, I'm back. Whew, it's cold. It's really cold. It's big and it's cold.
Tell me what you found.
Okay, so prisoner 13. She's a dwarf. She has a lot of markings on her skin, and she well, I was sort of in the hallway for a while, just hanging out, and you remember how the ogre said that there's no talking to the prisoners? She's doing a lot of talking.
Who is she talking with?
Oh, she's talking to just about every guard who passes by.
Huh.
One gave her her meal, and she's quick with the hands that I saw. And she like all 8 eyes blink at different times. And she's like, I'm not sure what she's doing, but she is. And then Osan sort of like telepathically sort of is like, she's communicating to them in different ways. I heard her speak Dwarvish. I heard her speak a weird language I haven't heard. I saw her pass a note. She's busy. And then she goes, also, there's someone very dangerous in one of the cells. I could feel them.
Why do you say they're dangerous?
They have like a force around them. They shouldn't be.
Did you see them? Can you describe them to me?
It's a man. He's tall. He has light eyes, and wild hair, and sort of. Well, I guess he was a little pale, gaunt.
I know who you're speaking of. Why do you say he should not be?
He's a natural. He's I don't know, he's different than the others.
Can I do a perception check? I don't know if that will tell me anything more, but
Yeah. Do a because you're basically like trying to talk to her, and like, you know, she has limited like ideas for things, so go ahead and make like a nature check, I guess.
Oh, a nature check. Okay. Oh, I got a 13.
So Osan's concept of something that would be unnatural would be something that goes against the way of life. Something that and you know that the Mad Mage was into all kinds of, you know, blood magic and necromancy and just like all the bad schools, right? And it's very possible he got himself into something that altered his being. Osan doesn't really have an idea or like a grasp of the concept of what she's trying to portray. Unnatural and against the way of nature is kind of what she's got.
I wonder if that can be used to destroy him. Osan, you did so well. Thank you for telling me. I have a new mission for you if you are up for it.
Okay.
Once you get warm.
Okay. Okay. Let's hear
I need you to go to the Warden. Do you know the Warden, the enchantress in the wheelchair? Have you in the wheeled mechanical
from the Panopticon? Okay, yeah.
Yes. Can you go and into her office if you can? I know it's enchanted, and see if she is talking to anyone. and let me know what they talk about.
Okay, right now.
Yes, but stay in the shadows. Be
All right.
careful.
And she scurries down your pant leg, and you feel her moving off.
That's impressive.
Yes. Ooh, okay. So,
Talk people.
say that again?
How do you do that? Just the whole animal talking thing. I don't. Seems very
Technically she's a telepathic spider, so really all what you saw, Matilda, is just a fairly large purple tarantula chilling under her collar in her cloak.
Just staring at each other.
Just staring at each other.
Staring.
I mean, just kind of like looking off into the distance.
Yeah, and Zatari and Bellatos don't seem that perturbed by it.
Vakas is not a normal person.
What? I don't. What? I don't understand what's going on. That's okay.
Vakas has some magic as well.
I have news. I have news from so Matilda, I have a companion. Her name is Osan, as you saw. She left. She is my companion. I am able to speak with her, and she goes and is able to find things out for me. She is my informant.
Well, that's really convenient.
It is. It is very wonderful. She is the best.
Is that why you were mad at the guy on the boat that we fought with?
Yes.
That makes so much more sense now.
He dared to insult my companion. And
tried to squish her.
No one takes a swing at my Osan.
Good to know.
Osan reported to me that Prisoner 13 has been chatting with every guard who passes by her cell. That she has passed a note and that she is very talkative. Osan also reported that the Mad Mage is, in her words, unnatural, which I think means he has some sort of dark powers that he has tapped into since our last meeting, which is why he has become more powerful. I have sent her to go check to see what Marta is up to in her office, and she will report back once she finds out.
You have said he has used blood magic and necromancy, right?
Yes, he has.
When you have described him, when you knew him?
Yes.
I wonder, does he use a focus when he does magic?
I don't know.
He definitely would have as a wizard. Yeah.
Yes, he would.
What did his focus look like? Was it like a necklace or jewelry?
Oh, that's what you
an
mean
object?
by that. Surely I know that. Can it be his necklet? Well, I don't know.
I wonder if he still has his focus somehow.
Sorry, go ahead, Dee. What
I was just gonna say yes. He had a necklace, which you knew had some sort of powerful focus on it. It looked like some kind of gem or crystal, He always kind of kept it tucked beneath your robes, and you probably only saw it a couple times. He was very protective over it.
Can I try and remember if I saw that in the through the mirror, like through the scrying glass?
Yeah, totally. I'm gonna say I remember you rolling a nat 20 to find him.
Oh yes.
For like the prisoners have a standard uniform, and so he wasn't unlike prisoner 13, who was sort of like had the uniform half undone and was just like in a tank top. He had the uniform on a little bit more properly, but you don't remember a chain or anything around him, and you would imagine that all like objects and stuff were taken from him.
So how could he be that powerful without his focus?
Well, a wizard to do magic, I have heard they need a focus, a familiar, and also they need their spellbook.
Well, he's in prison, so I don't know that he has any of those things.
He could maybe not need them if he has done something to himself. I have heard tales of some wizards who try to live forever if they are mortal, and they experiment and do some terrible things to extend their life.
But and ignore my ignorance.
But
could you write the spells? Could you write the spells on your skin and use your skin as a spellbook?
Is possible.
But he didn't have tattoos.
It was just an idea. I mean, for right now, where he is.
Yeah.
Wizards can be very powerful. Sometimes they even have little pockets of space they can keep things in. But I don't know what he is capable of. But he seems very powerful.
He is capable of very many things. So what is our plan? We have been talking for quite a while, and we need to make sure we move past this and move forward in some fashion. Osan is looking in on the captain. Bellatos, what do you think? How do we move forward?
I'm not a planner, guys. I just think like this is information overload, guys. I don't know. I get in trouble a lot, and I'm trying to not like I feel like things are like at a place right now where like if I do something stupid, it could be really bad for us. So like I'm gonna let like you guys figure that out, and I'll be here and help translate and punch shit if I need to.
So, how would you feel about passing by Prisoner 13's cell since she seems so chatty with the guards?
Oh yeah, no, I'm in for that.
Cool.
I could also try, maybe she knows Thieves' Cant. Would be easy to talk to her if she does.
I mean, I know
Is your language?
Thieves' Cant is a secret way of talking that people like me use to speak to one another. And she... Yes?
Oh, I would expect nothing less.
Do we know when our first rotations happen as guards?
Yes, you guys saw that you guys were basically slated for the morning shift. So you guys have like the first shift of the day, which is the graveyard crew gets off at 5 a.m. So you guys are like morning shift.
So you dear. I missed like all of that. Sorry.
Oh no, yeah, you're good. Matilda just asked when your guys' like first shift is, which is gonna be 5 in the a.m. So you guys are morning shift. And then, sorry, what were you gonna say earlier, Bellatos?
I was yelling at a cat. We're good.
Okay, cool.
I think maybe Bellatos...
I think we should do a shift and get a feel for what's happening first around this place. We're gonna go by Prisoner 13.
Maybe each one of us tries to talk to her and see what we can get out of her as guards. And then maybe Vakas, you could try to look more into the Warden and see if her dwarf side could help us more.
Vakas could deliver a meal to Prisoner 13.
I think I should instead go and talk to the cook who I think is visiting with Marta.
Oh, yes.
To get more information on if anyone knows, it would be her, who I suspect is in with the warden now.
Also,
So I will go and inquire more.
Not to be tonight. It could be like tomorrow sometime. Like, it's just since you work with the cooks, it's not a bad idea if she slips you a piece of paper or something.
And I can be a bit sneaky. Maybe I could go try to see the Mad Mage in person. See what maybe we are up against with him.
Well, you are the...
I just take a look at him, no interactions or anything.
It makes me nervous, but you would be the...
Osan could come with me, she is very quiet.
I don't like anyone near him, but maybe.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to call it a night at some point, because we're gonna be up early.
We have talked too long already.
Yeah, you guys kind of like look up and realize that the mess hall is like practically empty.
Yep.
We will meet again for breakfast.
Where we
If
shovel it
Vakas
down
isn't
before
cooking.
shift. Alright.
Okay, go team!
Go team!
So you guys go back to the bunks. You guys know that there is a lights out at a certain time, unless you are graveyard shift. You see mostly people are like, hanging out. Some people are showering. Some people are like playing games. You look around and Samara's not in here.
As I suspected.
Interesting.
How long does it take for Osan to come back?
Osan comes back after like about an hour and a half, and sort of like crawls up the side of the bunk where no one can see them. And it's like behind the bunk almost. And sort of is like, Vakas. Okay.
Welcome back.
I found the warden. Well, so her room is enchanted. I couldn't get in, but I could sit on her door. Not a lot of people pass by the door for whatever reason. So I was there for a while. I think Samara's in there. They're just talking. They're just although the warden seemed different than when we saw her in the room with the bowls. She was she was speaking Dwarvish, which I don't understand. But and Samara was going in and out of common and Dwarvish. I don't think her Dwarvish is as good, but they're just talking.
Thank you. This is very, very good information. Please go somewhere warm and find a fly or two to eat, and we will talk again in the morning.
So I find this for Rosan, and I pull out a dead cockroach I found in the corner.
She takes it into you guys see a little hole in the
Go.
wall, and Osan's just basically on the other side of the wall, chilling, eating her cockroach. Yeah.
Can I use telepathy to update everybody else, or
no? It's only it's like a psychic bond between you and Osan. You guys can quietly,
Although,
again,
I have message.
You
so
do a message.
I could, if I see that, if Vakas gives me a look, I would message him, and then he could tell me, and then I could relay it to everyone else.
Yeah, you guys just point at each other the whole night.
I get your attention.
Yes, Vakas?
Osan reported back, and Samara, as we suspected, was speaking with the warden in Dwarvish.
I knew this! Okay, well,
And
you should definitely talk to her tomorrow then.
Yes, and Osan does not know how to speak Dwarvish, so she was not able to understand what they were saying. But yes, can you let the others know what happened?
Yes. I repeat everything to both friends.
I'm laying on my bunk, hands behind my head, as she says, sits up dramatically,
Matilde! Hello, I have message for you.
I don't understand, and I think I'm whispering it a little bit out loud, so I'm I don't understand, and saying it in my head, saying, what's happening right now?
I'm using magic to speak to you. You do not have to say out loud what you are wanting to say. I can hear you.
And you see Matilde just slump and then go back to laying on the bed
Just wanted to let you know this. Okay, good night.
Matilde puts a pillow over her head.
Tinfoil's hat it up.
Yep. She's now very overwhelmed by the abilities of magic, and she doesn't know how to process it. That's what just happened.
Would Bellatos have, know about... how would he react?
I mean... just, not quite as uncomfortable as Matilde, but, a little bit, okay. That's new to me. They've heard of magic quite a bit because of, their upbringing, but, that all got cut off when they went to the monastery, and there was not really any magic there. So, that he remembers. So, he's kind of like, just, this is interesting. Not like hiding from it, but just very like, I take note.
Bellatos, as you're getting this message, you sort of like see if Osan can repeat any of the phrases or words that they heard, and after like a little bit of struggle between like playing telephone with the spider.
Osan tells Vakas, Vakas tells
Yeah.
Zatari.
You're
Zatari tells.
This is like the most mental exertion of all time for you, but you get a couple of keywords, and the couple of keywords are like pet names. It's like, like
I knew it. I had
it would be like
suspicion.
baby or honey, or like it's kind of like more dwarvish pet names.
Like terms of endearment.
Terms of endearment. Yeah.
Okay.
Snap.
I knew it.
Someone's calling someone Muffin.
Unexpected Vakas. I think they are having relationship. Bellatos says he was calling her Muffin. And the other pet names?
When I talked to Samara initially about the Warden, it does not surprise me that is the relationship she has. So I will find out more.
I am so confused, just out of character for a minute here, because like I swore the Warden was a woman.
Yeah,
she is.
Yeah, she is.
But the dwarf inside of her is a man. And she could be a lesbian. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
You haven't put all the puzzle pieces together, but yes, Marta's a woman. The dwarf fighter who you remember was a man. So that it's Bellatos is like, the wheels are turning, and he's just like, I don't know what's going on, man. Magic's crazy.
So fucking. He is just not following this. Like, he's just like out in fucking left field. Like, just like doesn't understand that there's a dwarf in the, like, I mean, Bellatos is just literally like mind
can't comprehend.
Yeah, like, fucking blown. Like, yeah. Kind of like me.
While they're doing this pointing messaging thing, Matilda, because Matilda's not part of this conversation, which is fine, because it sounds like a lot of telephone. So she's still under the pillow, but she's flipped so she's on her belly, and she kind of pulls the piece of papers out that she received.
Yes.
And she just kind of looks through it a little bit.
Yeah. It's very detailed. It does not have you look at like it's as I described, it's like a record of sales, and you know that your father sold your sister into slavery, and you've been trying to hunt her down. To very, like, and you've gotten bad leads after bad lead. It's kind of been a cold trail. What catches your eye is that this woman's last name is different. However, the first name is a childhood nickname that only you and her would use for each other.
as after I see that, I'm gonna put it securely in my bag. I'll put the pillow back under me and look up at the. I'm assuming I'm on the bottom bunk. I'm gonna look up at the ceiling
Yeah.
of the bunk bed and just kind of contemplate that for a little bit.
You know in your heart that that's too much of a coincidence. It's not a very common name. And it was basically like a secret term of endearment that you guys would use for each other. And the rest of the sales transaction, I mean, she's been all around Faerun, changing hands, and she is very far away, but you're like, I have something now.
Okay. Gotta figure out this prisoner 13 crap and then move on. Got it. Oh, and then probably helping with Mad Mage. Probably be
You
involved.
were promised a fair amount of gold, so you're like, great, I can use the gold to get to the other side.
That would make life
a lot easier. You and your sister, you could either buy your sister's freedom. Like it was like a lot of gold. A lot of gold. I think in the tune of like 80,000 gold is what we settled on. So like even if you got some
that
of
would
that,
be very.
it would be enough to buy your sister's
useful.
freedom. It would be enough to get you over there. It would be enough to restart your life.
Oh my god, Matilde! The Warden and Samara are dating!
And she just kind of startles like, what?
He called her Muffin in Dwarvish. Osans say they are using pet names. Is intimate relationship. Ooh.
So for clarification, are we talking about Marta that showed us the prison, or are we talking about Marta that called me up to
Dwarvish Marta.
Ah, Dwarvish Marta. I guess that makes sense because you said called her Muffin in Dwarvish. Yes. That's a fascinating endearment in Dwarvish. Since I know Dwarvish, I know that. Okay. I'm assuming Vakas is going to investigate then.
Yes, I think so.
Okie dokie, we'll figure out this 15.
Okay, good night.
Okay, good night.
You long rest.
I think
long rest.
This would be great for me to call a night. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's totally fine, McKenna. Yes, we will call. We'll pick up again. We'll pick out a day, and we'll pick up in the morning. You guys had some good planning and stuff. You guys are coming up with some good ideas. I like it. I like it a lot.
Level up.
You level up. I'll let you level up, even though we didn't do too much.